Hello YouTube. Well, I have it somewhat done. I have to put a slip yoke eliminator in next. That's going to be probably something that's going to be done this coming month here. When it warms up just a little bit and I can heat up the shop for not an arm and a leg, because this heater is electric and it costs a bit of money to run. So anyway, it's going to kind of catch you up to speed. Sorry about my finger there. Catch you up to speed on my rear part. I didn't have anything posted on this, so here we are. I have it done, but I'm going to show you give you kind of an idea what you're dealing with here. There we go. There's the front leaf spring eye. That's the new leaf springs, and then that's actually new bolts that are in here. I decided to buy new ones and replace those because I figured they'd be rusted in. Here is the back shackle, and up above there it attaches to the frame. Kind of dark down here, sorry about that, but anyway, let me go grab a light. Anyway, there is the shackle, and up above is where the bolt comes out of. I don't know if I can see that or not here, but the shackle bolt there it is. There's hiding, and that's way up in there. But I'm going to show you what I had to do to get all this old stuff out. Okay, kind of a show and tell here. The front leaf spring eyes, the old spring. And what I had to do is take a cutoff wheel, one of these thin ones, and word of warning, definitely wear some leather gloves, wear some eye protection, a face shield probably be advised. But I try to keep my face out of the line of the sparks and stuff like that. And another thing, be mindful of the gas tank in this thing is plastic, so don't run your sparks towards the plastic gas tank, because it'll probably build up in one area and actually start to melt it. So beware of that. So I cut these spring eyes off. It really didn't take too much effort to do it. Then once I got the spring eyes cut in half, these are the front ones, I could actually get at the inner bushing that was left up above once I peeled these off of there. You see how much rust there is on this thing. And once I peeled, yeah, you can see the rust on the back side. Here's some rubber yet on the actual outside of that bushing. So these are the spring eye bushings. The rubber part's gone. That's already been hauled out of here to the landfill. So and here's the actual inner bushing or sleeve, and here is the actual size of the bolt. It's an M12. I think it's like 120 millimeters long, so whatever that is in inches, but it's a nice long one. It's really heavy bolt. Actually, I was kind of surprised at the tensile strength, 9.8. That's pretty good. I would say that's probably a grade, a little bit better than a grade 5, maybe not as good as a grade 8. Who knows? Somewhere in that area. I stay. If I'm wrong, I stand corrected. Sorry. But once I could get this cut out, the inner part bushing cut in half, I could then get at the rubber bushing and cut it in half and then pop it off. Actually, I only really need to cut one side, and it would spread out enough to go off of this sleeve. So why did I have to go through this work? Well, this sleeve here gets rusted onto that bolt, and it was actually turning inside of there and coming out somewhat, but it was not working to my liking. And actually I think this here was spinning inside of the rubber part too. So had to get at that so I could, there's a nice split there. I could get some penetrating oil in there. And then also that particular bolt lent itself to access with a electric wrench. So I took my electric impact wrench and spun on it quite a few times with good penetrating oil like Croy oil. And it loosened right up, and then I was able to pull it out with my fingers. That was one. That wasn't too bad. That actually didn't take too bad, but unfortunately, you can't really see it there, but there's a little line right there. On one of the second one I was working on, the disc caught in between the spring and as it was coming apart, which really kind of puzzled me, I guess, a little bit. And I'm really not sure how that thing bit me, but it bit me, and it bit me good. I had to have 6 stitches put in, so it wasn't too bad. It was probably about a 3/4 inch long opening there, and yeah, it opened it up pretty good. So luckily it didn't get my tendon, so I was happy about that. Here in the backside, okay, I'm sitting there pointing at this, not really explaining anything about it. Here in the backside are the actual upper part of the shackle. I cut the lower part, the spring eye, out of there. I didn't have to cut that particular spring eye in half. I knew it wasn't going to be worth doing. It was just extra steps that really did no good. So. And I had new shackles for it that came with the kit anyway, longer, heavier, and everything like that. But I'll tell you, once I got these one side cut off of here, I was able to just take my hand and bend it off and then work it back and forth and snap it off. I had cut through it part ways, but this one probably hasn't been snapped off. I think I was able to get at this one with the grinder. On one side, the exhaust pipe was in the way, so that's kind of a pain in the neck. But the other side, the driver's side, it wasn't. So I was able to get that cut off and be able to cut off. I cut this side first, then I cut this side next, so I could actually turn this around. In order to turn this around, you had to actually take and put a wrench on the bolt here. All the bolts were the same. That was nice. I had to put a wrench on the bolt and then turn it around, and I was able to get at this part here. So once I cut this part off, again, repeat what I did over here. I would then cut off the outer shell of that bushing. Once I got that cut in half, I could pop that out of there, and I took a utility knife, cut that in half, cut a slit down it all the way through the sleeve. And these I could not get an impact wrench or electric wrench on, so I couldn't spin them in here. And these had a split too, so what I did was not this particular disc, but the wider ones, the grinding wheels. I just took, and you can kind of see it there, I took and I went back and forth on it, back and forth until I was able to take a screwdriver and get it in between here. And then it was getting pretty hot up there, and you can see I'd made it pretty thin along here, and I was able to get that split apart or spread apart, and then those drop out. Once I got that all out, both of these sleeves, well, the bolt came right out of that one. Once I was able to get this one out, I could crank on this one with both breakdown bar and later, as it got easier, with a ratchet, and able to get these out. But I am really glad I bought new bolts, because the old bolts were probably rusted. About 20% of them were rusted away here. This is a tough bolt. I'll tell you what, I figured I was going to either twist these things off or snap that nut off inside the frame, and I don't know what I would have done then. But I know they got a relocation kit for these, but it brings it down further, and I really didn't want the back end jacked up that much. I probably would have had to go back with stock shackles, and I didn't want to do that because these new shackles from that Zone kit were so much heavier. But hey, I've bored you enough. But that is how I got quite a bit of metal carnage here. But I did not hurt my frame or the nuts inside the frame with this. So later on, I am going to be doing a little video on what I did to my, I put it in a drop kit to bring the transfer case down just a little bit. They came with this kit. Or I should say, this kit came with this drop setup, and ended up twisting one bolt off, and I was only able to get the other bolt off. I was able to get the nuts off, but I could not get the studs out of this. But I'll explain that when I get to it next time, when I put this slip yoke eliminator in and the drive shaft. I understand that I probably can put my transmission back where it was. So, well, hey, thanks for watching. I know it got to be a long video, but I hope this helps you if you have a XJ, or anytime you have a spring that you need to get at the bushing and you can't get the bolt out. This definitely it caused me a lot of time, but I think it saved me from wrecking things on my frame. So, hey, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.